Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Touch Uncensored. I'm having a good time because this is a WhatsApp conversation. Okay, we are in this WhatsApp group called Touch Uncensored, and the conversations are very critical because things that we see on mainstream media are probably limited editorially. So we're gonna expand on it here, and I'm having a good time. Just got back from the good people in Portugal. Faro, you're an amazing city. Shout out to Afro Nation, everyone. I got to meet the CEO. I got to meet the whole organizing committee. You guys work extremely hard, and I'm just giving my appreciation. I want to thank you for getting the sound right. You know what it is to fly all the way, fly over Morocco, by the way. You can see a little bit of Morocco from that part of Portugal. But fly over Morocco, land in Portugal, and you said, man, I flew all these hours to be entertained. That's Afro Nation for you. I am back in 2027. I got to hang out with my boy, by the way. We kicked it a little bit backstage. Shout out to Burner Boy. Shout out to your mom. Burner Boy's mom is the reason why he is orbiting. Like, that team is running a tight ship. I'm telling you. And shout out to moms who are critical in their, who runs their affairs, who handles business. You know nobody's robbing you when all decisions have to go through mom. Do you know what it is to have your mom as not just the manager, but she's overseeing everything? Yo, big shout out. Shout out to my girl Tyler. The album is coming out. We're going to talk about that too. We had a great time. Shout out to all the artists that performed. It was beautiful. Afro Nation, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, follow them on Instagram. They already got tickets out, so you can book your ticket now for next year, all right? I'm loving where things are. Today's episode, by the way, we're just going to be transparent. There are things socially that have evolved, and I later want to talk about how women in South Africa are under attack. No. Not from GBV perspective. I'm talking about powerful women who hold powerful positions. We had a term for older guys dealing with young girls, calling them slave queens. We got Prince. I think right now with the Ben 10 term, we gotta revisit it and probably give a new word for the young boys that are targeting affluent women holding powerful positions. And I'm gonna show you this clip. But before then, can we just give a shout out to the current public prosecutor, advocate Koleka Galeka? She is running business. Let me tell you something about this public prosecutor, okay? She's not leaving any stoned. She's not leaving things to chance. She's not leaving any matters to chance. She has her office working 24/7. Nobody has ever been vocal about the economic injustice that's happening in the municipality of Cape Town like the public protector. I need you to understand, it's not easy to find fault with the city that everybody brags to be the #1 city in the country and probably top 10 in the world. And I'm not taking away the beauty of Cape Town, but truth has to be told, okay? Public protector finds Cape Town guilty of maladministration, and the city had to respond. But wait a second. Before we even talk about this article, look at her. From Tulima Donsela to this, it's like iPhone 6 to iPhone 19. I mean, the Office of the Public Protector optically and administratively, they got it all together. But let's talk about the story. The city of Cape Town, you have for many years, the city of Cape Town has been that house or that restaurant. I don't know if you've had a gourmet 7-star course meal at a 3-star Michelin restaurant where the sommelier has a bow tie, looks good, and they have this nice menu that's printed on velvet. The texture can tell you that the price is not cheap. And then you're like, excuse me, do you have somebody who can advise what's on the menu. He's like, no, sure. And then they bring the head waiter. And the head waiter looks like he just got off the Milan fashion show. By the look of the staff in the restaurant, you know what you're going to pay. You do know you are in for a ride. Cape Town is that 5-star restaurant that you love it optically. You gravitate towards everything from the waiter to the waitress, the sommelier, the food and bev manager. But wait till you go in the kitchen. The kitchen is the township. The kitchen is where the chef is throwing that Wagyu steak because he's pissed and is burning, and that lady is sweating and her sweat is dripping in the stew bowl, and they're still gonna serve it regardless. And while the chef is under pressure, there's a rat that's running, and that rat knows it's got an attitude because there's no cheese falling off. Like, it's a mess. The kitchen does not look the same as the restaurant. Now, Clifton, Kemps Bay, you are the fine, chandeliers, the cutlery, that's Kemps Bay. And let me tell you what this public prosecutor found, which we all knew, by the way. Essential basic services was not delivered. Do you understand how treasonous to deny people their constitutional right to have running water, basic sanitation? You do not have, you literally sabotaged Khayelitsha, Kwalanga, and these are, by the way, townships before you land and you see that runway in Cape Town. For those who've flown to a city that's rated one of the best in the world, you see the economic imbalancement from the airport. I don't know if you've landed in Sao Paulo. When you land in Sao Paulo, you see the city, and when you look on your left, this is Brazil. You don't need to look any further to understand what's going on, what you're about to deal with. It is similar to Cape Town. When your aerial shot, if you take a picture before you hit the runway, you understand what you're dealing with economically. And I'm saying this because it's in the report. The residents of Khayelitsha and Kwalanga, by the way, it's in the report. I'm not thumbsucking this. I told you we're having conversations, like we're having those locker room, we chilling, we at the bride. I need to tell you what's going on because people, we don't peruse information like we used to anymore, but I find it treasonous. It's treason to deny people basic service, not because they didn't have the resources. By the way, Cape Town's got money. Cape Town's got serious budget, okay? To strategically sabotage basic services to the residents of the biggest township. You have a densely populated area in the entire Cape Town where most people, second to Cape Flats, should receive waste management services, proper sanitation. Now, this report has put the city on a spotlight on the year of the municipal election. And you know what I appreciate? I appreciate the fact that she didn't mince her words. By the way, I managed to get through to her office because I like to deal with what is currently affecting people. When you see Cape Townians, have you been to Waterfront and you are served in these beautiful restaurants, you stay in these beautiful hotels, but the conditions of the people you are complaining. If you stay in a 5-star hotel in Cape Town and you say, I don't like the way my pillow is ironed, that lady who's going to apologize didn't even have access to electricity on that day. Maybe she didn't even have a warm shower. Did it cross your mind when you say my steak was supposed to be medium rare and you overcooked it by 5 seconds? This is overcooked. The chef is dealing with the fact that he has not seen waste management in months. And you have a problem because the Wagyu didn't come out right. Do you understand psychologically where we are? There are people who you expect perfection and delivery of the most high opulent service when they come from the most debilitating circumstances. Psychologically, it is a challenge to be a Cape Townian coming from these two townships and efficiently deliver in your position. Imagine about teachers who have to go to school, educate kids we no longer living in 1994 or prior. This is 2026. The public protector is saying you have no reason to have denied people their constitutional right to have access to essential services. Do you understand that? And by the way, I don't know if you have invested in a property in Sea Point, because did you see the latest ruling? The court has approved medium low-cost housing in Sea Point. To those who have a 24 million rand mansion, you got an 800,000 rand apartment coming next to you. You're about to see a different Cape Town. This is a story for another day. I want to go back to the public prosecutor. I want to give you a big shout out, because whenever you see Cape Town officials talk about how bad Joburg is run, it's like they come from perfection. You have a city that, by the way, we all love, that inflates its prices every December. Everything in Cape Town is twice the price in December because all black people flock. I don't even go to Cape Town in December anymore. It is still my favorite city, but we got to talk about how you strategically sabotage your own residents on a year of elections. And you know what is sad? The same black people that are affected, they're going to keep voting for the same party that is suppressing them to these current conditions. If you don't realize your vote, it is the only voice you have, you will be jealous about it. And I'm not saying vote for anyone. I'm not here to influence who you should vote for. If the city corrects its mistakes before the election, which I do know, because the mayor's kind of young, he listens, he's my guy. I'm not coming for you, sir. You need to clean up your backyard. You are in the year of elections. You need to show more videos campaigning in Khayelitsha and Kwalanga. Let's see you cruising top down, playing death row, playing some amapiano. Do you have Kabza Maparisa on your playlist? We want to see you campaigning with the top down in Khayelitsha. Fix the errors now, okay? Because maybe people want to retain you in power. Maybe you should. Maybe. Sometimes better the devil you know. Because nobody want to deal with inconsistency of leadership. Sometimes you got to fix things. I'm not speaking removal of anybody in power. I'm here to voice for the voiceless. Hear me out. You visit Cape Town as a tourist, but you don't understand the psychological disposition of people in Cape Town. The residents from these two townships are 80% of the workforce in your tourism, in your hospitality, in retail. And you wonder why. Every time you're paying at the till, that lady's always scratching her hair. Something is itchy. She hasn't had a warm shower in 3 months. Not because there's no access to hot water. They just don't want to give it to her. Why? She happens to come from a wrong side of town. That keeps reminding you that economic emancipation, the rhetoric, it's never coming to fruition. There are certain things in our generation we're not going to see happening. But if we do not talk about it and inspire that change and act like things are cool, let's fly from Joburg to Cape Town and check-ins in the 5-star hotels and keep yelling at the stuff. Keep yelling that you don't have honey in your Rooibos tea. How about that? How about that? Every 5-star establishment, by the way, in Cape Town is served by people who don't even live in a 1-star condition. Ask yourself that next time you think your Wagyu is not medium rare enough. Think about that. Think about that. While you're thinking about it, maybe I don't need to mount water right now. I probably do. I want us to go to Limpopo. This is north of South Africa, by the way. The sun always shines. I love it. They probably get the most sun, Mpumalanga and Limpopo. I love it because you're always on the brighter side of things. You are always. That's why people from Limpopo always wear bright colors. I mean, you will. I mean, I'm telling you, go to any funeral in Limpopo, you will think you're at a baby shower. They are happy. The color says everything because they're inspired by the sun. Now, Limpopo is a beautiful province. I love that. The premier is, man, can I vote for her to be the next president? The premier of Limpopo, you've got my vote. You are the next president of South Africa. She is holding, there's a girls' conference. I'm going to say girl. It's not even the ladies. You know what a girl talk is? A girl talk is alarming the rest of the sisters to be on the lookout. She's alarming the rest of the girls. Stay on the lookout. There's this rise of women in power in South Africa, which I love, by the way. If you ever want to see a country that is mastering women emancipation in workplace, in politics, in government, it's South Africa. Why I say that, look at most of the companies in JSE as well, listed companies, but also look in government departments. You got to give it to our cabinet. Now, the premier is giving a girls' talk to the rest of the ladies to say, all of you women who are in position of power or affluency, every time you get compliments, when a guy compliments you, whoever it is, it's fake. People are nice to people in power because they want to keep their jobs. End of discussion. You think people like you, they hate you. They hate you. And they will set you up. But now this girl's talk, she is putting this disclaimer. There's a memo that's out from Limpopo and the rest of the province. You better catch up to this. There's a girls' conference. She's having a girls' talk with the rest of her girls. Look out for the young ones. The young ones are on a rise. There's a movement in South Africa of young, lazy bastards who do not want to work. They are targeting hardworking women in position of power, and they're giving them names that their husbands are not giving them. They're giving them compliments they're not getting at home. They are not getting those compliments at home because they've just submitted a contract that needs Mama X to sign. The young ones, you used to think that we have a slave queen epidemic? Oh no, that is over. Girls are getting the bag independently, some of them. The slave queen era is done. We live in an era of the slave prince. They are after your aunt, they are after your mom, and they're going to tell your mom how she looks better than Uncle Waffle. They're going to say, Mommy, Tyler has nothing on you. And you're going to believe it and give him the contract. Let me tell you something. The woman in Limpopo, the premier is fed up. She's telling the girls, all of you in power, look out. You think having a young side boy is keeping you young and relevant? Is that the reason why your playlist has deleted Benjamin Dube? Do you know what it is to delete a gospel album for vocalistic? You replacing one of the most renowned, sought after bishop, reverend. You delete his entire catalog for vocalistic. At the age of 59, you serving in a public space. You are an MEC, you are a mayor. Look at this. She's addressing her girls, saying, look out because they are coming for you and they're going to get you. Ladies in position of power are falling for the flirt. They are falling for it. And as a result, you think you're happening till Tyler stands next to you. Oh, yeah. You know that feeling that you get when you driving an SUV and you at a traffic light and you with your family, your wife and kids, and you telling them, oh, this SUV is the best. It's got 0 to 100 torque off, and you tell them about the features. It takes the C connection and the USB connection. Oh, the seats are reclining until the real SUV pulls up next to you. Do you know that feeling? You know the bad look you give because you are a wannabe? You're a wannabe. You are a wannabe because now the real deal just stood next to you. I'm sorry, ladies. If you are suffering from a mid-age crisis and you happen to be in a position of power and you think you are affirmed by having a young man in your life, wait till the Premier puts you in check. Check this out.
This thing, I must take it out of my chest. The downfall of us women. Look at all the women who are removed. Some of us very old because of Ben 10. That's what is happening. Man.
Yes!
Am I lying? I'm not. That is our downfall. You are given power. You are given a municipality, a Mama Mary Amalaki. And then somebody here just come. Some boy that you saw growing up make you change. I know, man. No. I must say it. So now when I say...
You know what, guys? Dr. Poppy Ramathuba is the next president of this country. She's helping you, sisters. Listen to, take heed to what she's saying. There is nobility in checking and having an introspection after watching that video. You need that on this beautiful Sunday. You need that. I'm telling you, let's quickly just go to France. I've been to Paris and I was warned that you can land on any given day. There's a riot. I said, nope, that's not true. I went to go see the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert. And coming back from the concert, not even a soccer match, people were mad. It's just in their nature. They have this predilection for setting the city on fire. There were riots after a very beautiful concert that they didn't perform particular songs. The French will find anything to complain. They will complain that Macron did not wear the right suit today, or his shoelaces were not tied up. The French find anything. Now, because of their history, prior to the game, by the way, congratulations to France on displaying impeccable. Mbappe, you the beast. Stores, the LVs, jewelry stores, they were ready for action because they understand whether they win or lose, there's going to be a riot. Thank God they won. Had France lost, nobody in the world can set it off like the French people. You think French fries has anything to do with potatoes? They fry anything. They will fry anything. The French are very famous for setting it off. They will light the city on fire. Now, I like how they were so ready. And maybe we got to learn. We got to learn from them. We got to learn how to intercept the agony of insolent behavior. They will find a way to vandalize property. And I don't even think it's a crime because you know how many court cases, I even had to research, there's so many court cases, by the way, of public property being vandalized. And I think the judges are tired of it. They're like, give us fresh crimes. They're like, really? Really? Now, appreciate the readiness of the police, store owners, and learn from them because they knew Moroccans are sour losers. They knew it. And I don't understand how if I'm a South African and I go to another country and my country loses, say Sydney, because the Rugby World Cup is in Australia, and the Boks loses, why should we burn Martin Place? By the way, Martin Place is a section where The Matrix was shot in Sydney. For those who don't know, Neo The Matrix was shot in Sydney. I walk and pass that fountain every morning just to feel like I'm in The Matrix, which I am, by the way. But there are people who will come to your place, visit you, and their intention is to destroy what they would not even touch in their own territory. I want you to see this. And shout out to the readiness of the police and the store owners. Now, if you think that's it, London didn't get the memo. London, I'm sorry you didn't get the memo. Because I feel sorry for the police and the man in a uniform in London who had to run away from angry, sour losers from Morocco. And by the way, Morocco, you're developing a bad history now. This inclination to not take a L, it's becoming a problem. You did not give Senegal their fair victory at the AFCON. You took away the AFCON championship from Senegal. You're starting to become that mid-child who's messing up the flow of things at home. Now that you lost against France, why did... By the way, we'll talk about Paris. This is what happened in London. Imagine. London is on fire. Look at that. By the way, this is sad. By the way, for those men in a uniform, I feel you. I feel you. I feel your pain. Queen Lizzie must have turned on her grave. To see this, do you understand what's going on? You got kids running, throwing stones at the police. Those kids went through immigration and they were smiling when they entered Heathrow Airport. So what is the purpose of your trip? I'm on vacation with my parents. Oh, great. Welcome to Great Britain. Just to end up chasing the police, throwing stones at them because you lost. I don't understand what is the agony of Moroccans. I completely don't get it. Well, they tried it in LA. It did not work. I wish they tried it out here in Joburg. I wish it would. Like it's wrong for you not to take a L harmoniously. You lost. Can you just take it? And I don't understand what's wrong with this. Is it okay to call this lady? I don't even know how to describe her. There are people who do not deserve to be on camera and make utterances that puts the whole country in disrepute, because no longer is celebrating the journey it took for Paraguay to demonstrate that level of resilience to make it to the World Cup. Now Paraguay's legacy is on this loser's shoulder. How are you coming for the words? You see, when you mock Mbappe, it's not you expressing your hatred towards Mbappe, but you're insulting the African community that is participating at the World Cup because you decided to make this a racial. It was never racial. Your contention was never racial. It was not man. Criticize the man for his athleticism. But when you come for his nationality, when you come for his identity, oh, we're joining the fight. We are joining. And by the way, Paraguay, I'm sorry that you still have this woman in office. She should be fired. Look at what Mbappe said. The fact that Mbappe has to respond to her. Now, let me tell you something. When you are at the World Cup, unlike Bafana, when you are at the World Cup, you are in a camp. You are 100% zoning in nothing but to play soccer, training, tactical planning. You are in and out of interrogating ways to win. Mbappe's had to be distracted to be on Twitter to respond to this loser racist woman who should be fired by now. I don't know why she's still in office. I mean, I can understand if Mbappe went to the Louis store as a way of detoxing and finding therapy, like our boys did. But Mbappe decided to, you see, there are certain vibrations you should never reciprocate. When somebody operates at a low vibration and you are the number one star player in the world, you're going to deal with a text in the ring. Don't concentrate on the gallery because you are in the ring, Mbappe. The fact that they allowed you to have your phone and get on Twitter, there are certain battles you do not have to fight in life when you know that victory is the only prize that is going to justify why we're here. Certain distractions. That's why some people have managers, bodyguards. You got to go through certain phases to get their attention. Now, how Mbappe graced this woman with the response, which, by the way, he had to. But I do not want you distracted, homie. I don't, because Cameroon, Africa, all of us, we want to see you holding that cup. We want to celebrate your victory. If it's not going to go to the GOAT Messi, we want to see you win because we know what it means for the rest of the continent. Now, there are certain distractions you should never allow in life. I deal with, my phone has been ringing. My phone's been ringing since I'm shooting. My phone's been, I'm like, who is it? I'm not going there. There are people. I don't care how efficient you are in a workplace. I don't care how efficient you are in a ring. I don't care how efficient you are in a basketball court. There are certain distractions that can reduce your efficiency, your professionalism. You do not need it. When you are in a boardroom, you need to zone in and understand that, one, it is grace to walk through that boardroom and negotiate those deals. You cannot take any distraction from people who will never be you if they were given the opportunity to wear the same jersey. This woman is a loser from kindergarten. You can tell. She was that bully who didn't know the answer in class. She has those looks. She has those. She gives me that vibe. She gives me the vibe of that, when it's lunch and you open your lunchbox and you look at other kids' lunchbox and you're like, my goodness, I'm not going to open mine. You terrorizing kids because you know what you have. It's not even a fraction of what they have. Now you want to instill hatred. You want to make them bitter. You have nothing going on in your life, and the only time you are relevant is when you troll somebody. The only time there's relevance around your name is when you mention someone in a very condescending, disparaging, whatever it is. You know your life is not happening if the only traction you have in life is to take shots at somebody who's successfully operating in their gift. You know you are not happening. There are people who gain relevance in this world because of who they take shots at. There are people who you give attention to because of who they have to mention. Left to themselves, there's nothing going on. Left to themselves, there's no relevancy. Nobody wants to mention them. I mean, let me tell you something. I look at myself, okay? I'm the type of guy, if you write about me, it's gonna be headline. It does not matter. It could be I gave my dog salmon, whatever it is. There are people who do not have relevance. And the only time they become relevant is who they took a picture with. That's the only time you getting likes. Is who you standing next to. You know what you call them? Those people. I don't know if you have dimmers. I have these lights, by the way, that I'm sure you do. They dim your light. Those people, they dim your light. You walk around in an environment where you feel like you're tired. You feel depleted. You're not tired. The energy that's revolving around you in the room is absorbing. It's taking from you. If you understand in the world of quantum physics, there are certain, there's a cadence and there's certain way numbers flow. Same way with your cells, the same way your neurons. Hence, we react to sound. You know sound therapy? You react to certain sound because they ignite something in your brain cells. They ignite some. Have you ever listened to a particular melody and you're going through the most, you just down, and there's a certain sound that you hear, and all of a sudden, you switched on because you are reacting. It is the natural order of things. There are people who come into your space and they bring life without even saying a word. Now, this woman, she thought she'll take the light away from Mbappe. Oh no, baby girl. Oh no. Because after Paraguay, did you see what he did? He reminded you the last thing that can ever be mentioned about you is how insidious, is that even the right word? How ludicrous of you. If you look at the character of this woman, who should be fired, by the way, I'm saying it for the third time. I hope the Paraguayan president is watching this. I voted 3 times for a dismissal. She should be gone by now. By the end of this episode, she's going to be fired. I want you to see what she said about Mbappe and look at Mbappe's response. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. Man, I respect that level of mental balance to understand this is not my battle. This is not my war. I'm not descending to the level of pigs. Shout out to Mbappe. And shout out to you if you've been in his position. Because you should never find yourself vibrating at 9.9 dealing with a 0.1 problem or people. Oh yeah. We are all created by the same creator, but we are not vibrating equally. We are not. We can go to the same school, same teacher, breastfed by the same mother. How we respond to life, it's different. Trust me. And some of us respond different to chaos. Check this out.
French prosecutors have launched an investigation after Paraguayan Senator Celeste Amarilla posted racist
The
comments
Botox
about
is not
French
even
football
properly
star
done.
Kylian Mbappe
Hold
on social
that.
media.
Hold that. You can see, listen, I can see a bad Botox from afar on shades. Stevie, look at that. Are those veneers? I don't even think those are veneers. Those teeth is not, the teeth is not pussy. Now that's, did you see Mbappe smile? I want you to see this tweet. Let's go straight into the tweet. Let's go straight into it. A colonized Cameroonian desperately pretending to be French, resentful, nouveau rich, arrogant, and ugly. He was nervous and scared out of his mind the whole game. Like his entire team, they couldn't even score a single goal. The only thing many of us hold against this Albijora is that they didn't even slap him with an open hand after the game ended. The little ... didn't even learn how to write. Instead of breast milk, he sucked on coconuts. And the most educated people he ever listened to were chimpanzees. Are you serious? Now, this is the GOAT, the greatest of all times response, Mbappe. This is Mbappe's response. Bonjour, Madame Celeste Amarilla. You're a despicable woman unworthy of your position. You do not represent Paraguay, the country which has sweat passion and honor throughout the competition. Through your recklessness and your brazen racism, the entire world has already forgotten the journey and the historic effort that your players accomplished during this World Cup, making way for an incompetent woman who gives the worst possible image of her country. I will never and never, ever, ever allow people like her the freedom to spread their hatred and racism across the world. Somebody give that man a glass of Fiji. By the way, have they paid? Because this is not just for vibes. I haven't seen the check coming through. Shout out to Mbappe. What a statesman. What a statesman. Do you understand that response? He had to think about it in the locker room. He had to think about it in his hotel. He had to think about it during his training. He had to think about all of that. He thought about it in training. He thought about it in the locker room. He thought about that. He went through hell. He went through hell. I don't know who's calling while I'm recording. It's a Sunday. Aren't you going to church or coming from church? What Mbappe went through, you have to understand that level of steadfastness. You had to be steadfast. You had to zone in. I call it tunnel focus. I respect that response. And I'm saying it for the fourth time. I hope she's fired. Now, shout out to Mbappe. I hope they win. I hope they win. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm learning how rich kids versus poor kids respond to frustration. I think there's an inextricable relation between anger and how it's expressed. When a broke child, when we grew up and we were mad, maybe our parents not giving us attention, probably you didn't get the drumstick, or that piece of a chicken that you liked the most, there was an extra visitor and now you had to eat cabbage and rice and there's no meat. You express anger differently. When you grew up the way I grew up, you'll express anger by when you have to wash the dishes, you leave the glass with the lipstick, you don't wash thoroughly, you pissed off. And when your parents say, go clean up the garden, pick up all the papers, you pick up the papers, but you all throw that entire stash in a particular corner. You don't put it in a bin. It is an act of being a rebel. We expressed it differently because you broke. Now, rich kids, you got to be careful when you piss off a rich kid. You can tell this is a rich kid. A story broke out. A teen alleged manifesto reveals Ballito Mall bomb plot. This kid allegedly placed an improvised explosive device in a mall at the food court. He was going to blow up the food court. This kid, and I don't understand what is it with bombers and the food court, because it happened in Kenya years ago. Remember with the mall attack? It happened in the U.S. What is your obsession with the food court? Do you know how much poverty is in the world? Can't you go for the office? I mean, God forbid. 9/11, they didn't hit the McDonald's. They hit the Twin Towers. Those are high-level expert terrorists. They went for the office. What is it with this kid going for Ballito Mall? By the way, the most safest city in the whole of South Africa, Durban, because it's ran by the most glorious group of people ethnically that are closer to God. Who? The Zulus. Do you know the Zulus are the bodyguards in heaven? When you go through the pearly gates, you are going to meet King Shaka, deciding if you're coming in or not. God trusts the Zulus to clean anything. The Zulus don't leave anything. He decides to go and try and bomb the Ballito Food Court Mall. Thank God, man. It's got to be embarrassing. When you tell your boys in school, you're a 15-year-old teenager, what are the cause of this? Listen to this. His parents are not giving him the attention. He was bullied. And I don't know if you know the word doxing. This kid is suffering from things poor kids don't suffer from. We didn't know that. When your parents didn't give you attention growing up, it was a celebration. Because the only time your parents will give you attention is when they're going to smack you. Okay? You knew you were in trouble when your mother's micromanaging everything you're doing. You feel like a suspect in your own house. Now, these rich kids want to be asked, have you been to the bathroom? How did you wake up this morning? How do you feel today? Oh, did your steak come out okay? What do you think about the grilled chicken? Do you like the chef? Should we fire the chef? These kids are giving too much attention. When none of it is consistent, he goes and blow up the mall. Do your research. A lot of private schools, a lot of the most affluent schools have not produced the best people in society. I'm telling you, look at the flow of narcotics, okay? You study. These kids that come from the most affluent school, they know the latest drug in the street. Was that taught in biology? Huh? I'm sorry. How is it that the most affluent spaces, when they lose their minds, the size of distraction, the size of, do you understand the Ballito Mall? One of my favorite, by the way. I was going to be so mad at this kid. If that Nando's blew up, you can go for any pizza because I'm gluten intolerant. Go for them. I don't care. If you blew up the Nando's, and I just came from Portugal, you blew up that Portuguese spice. Do you know what it is to that IP, by the way, I hope is protected. If you blew up that chicken licking, oh my goodness. The hungover nation that wakes up the next morning for the 36 hot wings with Stoney was coming for you. You lucky that your bomb explosion failed. By the way, he told all these boys, they signed an NDA, and you are the man at that time. Do you know what it is to have a friend who says to you, don't tell anyone, I'm going to blow up a mall. I'm sorry, I will snitch in a heartbeat. I'm running to the nearest police station. I'm not even telling your parents because they might be scared of you. I am going from Kantlam Kwanazi. I'm saying, Lieutenant General, Premier, Provincial Commissioner, I have a scoop. I am going to the head. I'm not even telling constable. I'm not telling the constable. I don't even trust the warrant officer. No. I want to see the station commander. I want to see the captain. I want to see Nkantlam Kwanazi, by the way. And I want to see him in his military. I don't want to see him in a normal SAPS uniform. I want to see him in that military, SWAT gear. Say, Ballito Mall is about to explode. What? Yes, and he's going for the chicken licking. That's where the actual nucleus of the explosion is going to erupt from. Excuse me, it went wrong. I'm not talking about the explosion. I'm talking about the quality of conversations you're having with your children, what you expose them to, the content they consume. Parents are taking it for granted to put PG, parental guidance, to go through their kid's phone. Do you ever go through your child's phone? Do you know what they're going through? Do you know what they're perusing? Oh, it's not cool to be a strict parent, right? Yeah, because the in thing now is to let kids be themselves. Let them be. I don't even know why I took my boys to Montessori, by the way, because the whole education system is premised on liberal. We got to allow kids to be themselves. Kids don't even know who they are. How do you allow them to be themselves? They do not know. Self minus kids equals to 0. Take those variables, put them, multiply them, subtract them, divide them. They equals to 0. How do you talk about self-identity when you don't even have one? You don't know who you are. This kid is influenced by the Columbine. He said he was influenced by the Columbine shooting, which happened, by the way, when I was in high school in Syracuse. Do you know when I was in high school in Syracuse, I made the news, by the way. I made the Fox 7 News. Google it. I was in high school when the Columbine shooting happened, and they happened to come and interview me saying, do you feel safe in your school? I said, I'm from Sharpeville. By the way, shout out to my school then. Bishop Grimes High School, one of the best Catholic schools, by the way, in Syracuse, in the whole entire New York. The kids in Columbine, your legacy, you thought is dead? You thought your legacy is dead? Guess what? Kumbaya, your legacy is alive in KZN. The last place you even want to think about, the last place. Can you imagine this kid at 15 years old? I'm not saying he's white. I'm not saying he's black, but I know an angry white kid. I'm scared of an angry white 15-year-old. I am giving you my cars, my house. You come from an angry 15-year-old white boy is not thinking about poisoning your dog. No. Rich white kids get angry differently. They have access. They show you how well they understand the periodic table. They know chemistry. They can set it off. They will set it off. I'm sorry. I'm not being racist. I've been a 15-year-old black boy. I know the worst 15-year-old. We grew up in the worst township. I know when I'm 15 years old black, we got up to some mischievous things, but never did we fathom the idea of bombing Bedworth Park Pick and Pay. That was our mall back then. This kid, you don't need to tell me who he is, what is his ethnic background. I can give it to you by how he expensively sets it off. Do you know how expensive it is to want to bomb them all? You gotta have resources. Your parents must be affluent, Absa Wealth, RMB, Investec, Black Card holders. You come from a home that has a driveway. You have borehole in your house. You have solar system. You're off the grid. That's why you want to set it up. You are about to explode. The mall food court is going to be on fire. And before you do it, you sit back and watch it burn. Why? Because you are not hungry. I could tell he's rich. He wants to bomb the food court. Who's at the food court? Who's at the food court in Ballito? You and I. You and I. This kid was strategic. He's not blowing a bank. They already got money. He's not blowing. He's like, that might be my dad's office. I want to blow up the food court. I am depopulating the Zulu nation. Do you know what you are getting? Thank God. I believe Shaka Zulu, as King Shaka as an ancestor, is the real one. King Shaka's ancestral powers stopped that bomb from detonating. Nothing else. The cops, the forensics said, we don't know how this didn't explode because this kid got it all together. You can see this is an A student. He left no stone unturned. It was orchestrated to be successful. Somebody prayed that day. There's a mama that prayed that goes to a church in Kwamashu who went and prayed in tongues. And I'm telling you now, the spirit intervened and the bomb didn't explode. And this kid got mad that what in the world happened? There was a spiritual intervention. I'm telling you, this kid right now needs more help than before. I don't think they should put charges or lay any charges on him. He needs help. Maybe this is his way of screaming for love. I don't know what it is. He needs help. But boy, you get angry different. I'm scared. Let me tell you, I'm scared. What? You get angry different. You want to explode? You want to bomb the food court? We see this on Fortnite. These are the things we see on PlayStation. You see this in the movie. That's crazy. I'm telling you. We need to pray for our youth, man. We need to pray. The level of exposure of toxic content right now in society, it's out of this world. It is insane. Like, we had to go through a lot of obstacles before we could get explicit content. Today, you don't even have to type the website. You don't need, it's just seamless. Like, it's crazy how we don't see it as a national, matter of fact, this is a global crisis right now to protect the kids from consuming or having access to some particular content. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not leaving anything to chance. After I read this story, I'm telling you right now, I am duplicating everything in my boy's phone. I'm putting Truecaller. I'm putting TeamView. I'm putting all softwares to ensure that I can see what they're browsing, what they're ordering, what food they're eating. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take it for granted. The people you call terrorists today, there was somebody's 15-year-old son one time in history. I'm telling you. The most FBI wanted, SAPS, Interpol wanted was somebody's 15-year-old child at some point. You need to be careful what you allow your children to have access to. I know you know this. You don't need me to tell you. But I'm tired of parents who are obsessed winning publicly and they're failing privately. Because that's some of you that are obsessed with your titles. Yeah. You walk into a room and everybody gives you all accolades. Honorable, this, Mr. Doctor, Professor so-and-so. You are obsessed with the following. Some parents are not here for parenting. They're here for the gram. The only time they engage the child when they're having breakfast is when they're taking a video. Smile, Lucy, smile. Wait, don't eat the strawberries. Put the strawberries back on the pancakes. Put it back. It was not like, put the syrup. Smile. After that picture, she's gone. The only time your engagement with your child is when you are doing it for the gram. Have you ever had a real conversation with no camera on? And you wonder why they want to light up the whole mall. Next time it's going to be the airport. Because we think these kids there's nothing wrong with the kids. There's everything wrong with the parents. Everything wrong with the parents. There's everything wrong with me. Everything wrong with me. We are doing this. We need to recalibrate, probably to just reset this thing. This concept of family has deteriorated today. Because the only time you demonstrate the nucleus, the who you are, the entity, the institution of family, is when it's time for the gram. There are families that are winning on the gram, and they are failing privately. And it's a sad scenario if you find yourself putting efforts in being good to your child because it's a content moment. It is really sad. There has to be a chemical imbalance. Something fundamentally is wrong with you. And I'm not crushing you. I'm probably right now interceding on your behalf. May the grace of God reach you. May something super divinely powerful reawaken you. Because this kid that is 11 is going to be 15. And one day is going to do something and you say, oh, not my child. Have you ever been that parent that says, what? Not my child. No, don't act shocked. Because there are some certain things that you overlooked. There are sleepovers that happened and you didn't even vet the parents. There are sleepovers that happen in your presence. In your presence. You and all the squad, the kids, the rest of the kids, they love you. You know why? Because you don't even check on the kids. Your parents are so cool. We go to your house and they let us start the car. They let us do whatever we want. We are smoking hobbly on your parents' bed. Your parents are the coolest. Oh my God, can we roll up a joint? Can we light this on fire? Your parents are cool. Did you see your mom slipping the condom? Say, hey, use protection. Really? Oh, these kids, you don't know what they get up to. You need to find a way to just slip condoms in their bag in case what? What happened to principles? What happened to don't do this? I will do X. It's in the commandments. It's biblical. Anything worth having comes with conditions, and maybe they don't favor the beneficiary. Anything worth preserving comes with conditions, and maybe the beneficiary's role is to subdue, respect, and uphold the qualities until such a time. Like David, when I was a child, I thought I spoke like a child, but now that I'm grown, there are foolish things that parents do that embarrass their own kids. Foolish things. You think you're a cool parent? You really think you're a cool parent putting a 14-year-old behind a steering wheel and letting them just learn how to drive because you live in a beautiful estate and you're not there to monitor? You're not sitting on a passenger seat to help them? You're just giving them the keys like, yeah, don't leave the main gate because we live in this Gulf estate. I don't understand what happened to your kids hating you. You know that is a compliment when your kids hate you? You need to go, if your kids dislike you, your aim is for them to hate you. Then it's got to get to a point where they want to kill you. That's the highest flex. You got this parenting on lock. When your kid looks at you, they give you that look that say, I will let you swallow a hand grenade right now. Your kids got to hate you to that extent because you are introducing them to a life that is governed by principles. And if they violate those principles, they might have to do 15 or 20 years. But you can always avoid it by the quality of upbringing you introduce them to. It is a cool thing not to be a cool parent. I'm not saying abuse your kids, but we are taking this thing way out of line. There's no child that grows and wants to be a rebel or a terrorist unless there was some deficits at home. There are certain families who think a half empty cup is a half full. Oh no, baby. We got work to do. And when we look at the man in the mirror, maybe the problem is me. Maybe the problem is you. But I'll tell you who's got the biggest problem. I don't know who did not allow this crew to make the flight. I'm mad. I'm mad because I am a Platinum One Life. By the way, One Life is a loyalty program for British Airways, Qantas, American Airways, and other airlines. So there's Platinum and then there's Emerald. The crew on British Airways was deprived their divine right to board the flight because they were drunk. This crew, the entire flight had to be canceled. British Airways crew, because they had a party the night before. What's wrong with cabin crew serving you on a plane, asking you, would you like some vodka? And you smelling it off their nostrils. You smelling it off their paws. And they say, you can trust the barman that's drunk. I can trust the barman that is drunk. The cabin crew on British Airways, do you know how embarrassing it is to be denied your contractual, this is their contractual obligation. They signed up for the job. They showed up at work, but they were refused to board the flight. They were refused to board the flight and serve because they were in a luxury hotel resort and they had to go to work the next day. Ladies and gentlemen, who is the regulator? I'm mad at the regulator because let me tell you something. First of all, I respect cabin crew. You have to deal with all kinds of people. There is no place in the world that is unhygienic, second to Kualanga and Kailicha because of failure of service delivery, like a plane. An airplane, look at that. I mean, take a look at this. This is the happiest cabin crew. You know, when you go on a trip on British Airways and you are traveling and you get on the flight, before departure, the cabin crew says, don't even buckle up. We are in for a good ride, mates. These are British. This, you know you're going to have a fun trip. You're going to have a fun trip when you are airborne and you're being served and you're saying, can I please have roasted beef with rice? And they bring you a prego roll. And you say, I didn't order this. They say, we know. You too serious. Join the party. This is the play. I want to fly this BA flight. I want this cabin crew on my next flight to Heathrow. I'm not boarding the flight. I want this crew on my next flight to Heathrow because it is the longest. It's boring to be on a plane with cabin crew that looks you in the face and keep reading all those instructions telling you that any violation or failure to listen to cabin crew or try to obstruct them from conducting their regular services, it is a criminal offense. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me that. This crew is my crew. They were having a good time. British Airways, stop being too serious. You just got a new prime minister. He's still trying to figure himself out. The crew is going through the most. Ladies and gentlemen, they were denied their God-given right to board the flight. because apparently and allegedly, I'm mad for two reasons. One, nobody had a breathalyzer. The assumption was made by somebody who's never even had a teaspoon of alcohol in their life. Do you know sometimes hormones can give, if somebody, you stand next to someone, you don't know their pH level, and you conclude that, I smell alcohol. Maybe that's not alcohol at that time. It could be something else. But imagine being on a flight with a crew that you know partied hard. You know who we need as a captain at that moment? If cabin crew, the entire crew, is intoxicated because they came from a beautiful party and a beautiful resort and they're having a good time. Maybe the alcohol level is going down by the time they get on the plane. You do not know. You do not know. But I'm mad. The second reason why I'm pissed, they didn't have Denzel as the captain. Do you remember this legendary moment? Check it out.
I was drunk.
Oh, yeah. That's
I'm
right.
drunk now. I'm drunk right now, Miss Black. Because I'm an alcoholic.
I mean, remember, there was even a test. Get me that clip. There was even a test where they called all the best pilots, top 10 of the best pilots, to run the simulation of the similar. They had to test with the best top 10 pilots to land the plane. All of them failed except one man who was under whatever kind of influence. One man could land that plane. Now, I'm not saying if you're a pilot, take any substance or drink before takeoff. I'm not saying that. But we don't have proof what it does to your reflex. Check this clip. Watch this.
Placed them in simulators, recreated the events that led to this plane falling out of the sky. Do you know how many of them were able to safely land the planes? Not one. Every pilot crashed the aircraft, killed everybody on board. You were the only one who could do it.
Great. Go on home. Hey,
Captain Whitaker,
you can't.
I'm telling you right now, you
Listen,
walk
man.
away, you're going to prison. I'm trying to save your fucking life.
My fucking life. Huh? Don't kill yourself on my account, Hugh.
Captain Whitaker, this NTSB hearing is a federal agency hearing. Do you understand
Yes,
that?
I understand that.
Okay, well, we can't play around with these people.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Having this man as a pilot means you're going to make it to your destination. But you might make it with the plane upside down. So what? BA's got more money than the royal family. So what? BA is rich. You're going to make it. Okay? I can understand to those passengers who have a problem with cabin crew that's more excited than you. I can understand when the people serving you are enjoying the flight more than you are. I can understand your agony. When you're sitting in first class and you want to be served in a particular way, and maybe that day the air hostess happened to be in a good mood and doesn't call you sir. Because you know everybody in first class like to be referred to as sir, ma'am, and you kind of feel important because you paid for expensive seat, even though if you're not important, we don't know who paid for your seat, but it kind of gives you some sense of value when a beautiful dressed airline official addresses you and say, how you doing today, sir? Maybe somebody complained in first class and said, excuse me, this plane shall not take off. When I walked in, they called me by my first name. Hey, Simon, good to see you. And you got offended. You take offense when the people who usually address you based on your worth find it, they acclimatize to the idea that you're also human. And maybe this is the opportunity to remind you that you're just an ordinary mere mortal who happens to have access to resources. That's why you're in first class. But for 2 seconds, don't think if this plane crashes, your first class seat is going to save you. So allow cabin crew to board the flight. I am flying BA. I want happy air hostess on my flight. Let me tell you, I fly different airlines, and I'm serious. Can we have an age cap? Do you know how boring it is to have a 14-hour flight served by somebody who should be playing with their grandkids? And you're looking at him and you're looking at her and you're like, are you seriously going to bring me my drink in record time? And then she comes back, or he comes back, and he said, excuse me, did you say Cap Sav or Mellow? And you say, I said Cap Sav. Thank you. And they turn around, dinosaur walk their way back to the kitchen, and they pour you a vodka. I've been in those situations. I don't know what it is with airlines. There should be an age limit. Shout out to Emirates. Emirates, not only are you comfortable, but I appreciate the effort you put in ensuring that those ladies put the right lipstick. I've never seen an Emirates airline official without the proper balanced makeup. Do you know they go for a professional makeup before boarding the flight? If you thought Emirates had it simply because of their service, darling, they even have a tailor. They have a tailor. You know you're flying some discounted, cheap, raggedy airline when the male hostess is wearing pants, oversized pants. He is a 32 and is wearing 42. We giving you what we had. I'm sorry. You can see by the haircut. You can see by how, you can tell that I am flying luxury by how the staff looks like. You know. I'm not discriminating, but I'm convinced the best airlines, they hire failed beauty pageant models. If you didn't win, there's hope for you. Emirates is hiring. Singapore Airline is hiring. Have you seen them? Have you seen the Singaporean airline cabin crew? Excuse me? Ethiopian Airline? Have you seen them? Some of you working at SAA like, are you going to mention us? Hello? Airlines are in the business of optics. I'm telling you now. I've seen the most beautiful, gorgeous woman. What is the criteria of hiring air hostesses? Really? Are you going to hire the most beautiful people and the most lean staff and think they would one day not board a plane drunk? Really? Do you know that level of beauty sometimes need to be reminded by a couple of champagnes? Huh? I'm sorry. You are too hard on this BA crew. We are being too hard on them. We need to take it easy and allow them to board the plane and serve. There's nothing wrong being served by a group of cabin crew that's in a good mood, because the world is in pear shape right now. There's a lot going on. There are people who don't even talk to each other under the same roof. Kids are bringing D, E, and you're paying premium, and they're not even reciprocating it. You go out, you get stopped in a roadblock, and the cop is not just checking how safe is your car, if it's compliant on the road. They're asking you personal questions. They want to engage you. They want to ask you things that you don't want to go there. It is tough. It is tough in the workplace. You didn't get a raise. Your boss is keep reminding you every day. I said work starts at 8, but nobody considers the fact that there's no running water in your home. Nobody considers the fact that you haven't had electricity, and everybody's expecting you to perform at your optimum level. Do you understand? We gotta take it easy with certain people. Life is too harsh right now. Ladies and gentlemen, be easy on this particular episode. I said to you, I'm having a good time. This conversation is a detox. I'll see you next week. My name is Tbo Touch, and may God continue to bless this beautiful nation of South Africa and Africa second and the rest of the world third. See you next week on Touch Uncensored.